Most people understand financial debt. You borrow money today and tomorrow you repay it with interest. Emotional debt works the same way, but it is less visible and often more dangerous. Emotional debt is what builds up when you ignore, suppress, avoid, or postpone dealing with your feelings, your truth, and your responsibilities in relationships. You borrow peace from the future to survive the present. But just like money, it always comes back with interest. Stay with me. Let us break it down clearly what emotional debt really is. Every time you say, I am fine, when you are not, you stay silent when something hurts you, avoid difficult conversations, pretend to forgive without actually healing, keep people in your life out of fear instead of truth. You are taking a loan. You are choosing a short term comfort over long term clarity. At that moment, it feels easier. You avoid conflict, you avoid discomfort, you avoid risk. But what you do not see is that something is accumulating inside you: confusion, anger, disappointment. All of these are building up in you. That is emotional debt. Emotional debt does not come from one big moment. It comes from small, repeated decisions. A conversation you should have had, but you did not. A boundary you should have set, but you ignored it. A truth you should have spoken, but you buried it. At first, nothing happens. You feel normal. Life continues. But slowly, you become irritated over small things. You start feeling disconnected from people. You feel tired, even when nothing physical is wrong. You lose interest in conversations or relationships that mattered. That is not random. That is accumulated emotional debt starting, to show symptoms. Now let us talk about interest in emotional debt. Debt always grows if you do not pay it. Emotional debt grows in the format of you start holding silent angers against people who do not even know they hurt you. Emotional distance. You withdraw, you become less open, less expressive, less present. Miscommunication. Small issues become big arguments because the past has not been cleared. Identity confusion. You forget what you actually feel, want, or believe because you have been pretending for too long. Sudden emotional breakdown. You explode not because of one issue, but because of everything you have been carrying. That is interest, and it compounds. Here are some reasons why people accumulate emotional debt. People do not, do this because they are weak. They do it because they are afraid. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of losing people, fear of being misunderstood, fear of standing alone. So they choose silence, they choose comfort, they choose delay. But the reality say, avoiding discomfort does not remove it. It only reschedules it. Let us also talk about emotional depth in relationships. Most broken relationships are not destroyed by one big problem. They collapse under unpaid emotional debt. One person keeps quiet to keep peace. The other continues unaware. Time passes, distance grows. Respect slowly disappears away. Then one day, everything ends suddenly. But it was not sudden. It was accumulated. Unspoken truths, unaddressed pain, unclear boundaries. All of it adds up. Emotional debt to yourself. This is the most dangerous type. When you constantly ignore your own needs, stay in environments that drain you, accept less than you know is right, betray your own values to please others. You do not just owe people, you owe yourself. And that debt shows up as low self-esteem, lack of confidence, constant overthinking, emotional exhaustion. You start feeling disconnected from your own life. Some people think suppressing emotions is strength. It is not. Real strength is the ability to face discomfort early, not avoiding it until it becomes uncomfortable. Silence is not maturity. Avoidance is not peace. Pretending is not healing. These are just delayed consequences. There is only one way to deal with emotional debt, which is you must pay it. And the payment is uncomfortable. It requires honest conversation, setting boundaries, admitting what you truly feel, taking responsibility for your own silence, letting go of relationships that no longer align. This is not easy, but it is necessary because the longer you wait, the higher the cost. And here are the right way to pay it. Start small. You do not need to fix everything in one day. Be honest with yourself first. What have you been avoiding? Who do you feel tension with? What truth are you hiding? Name your emotions clearly. Not, I feel bad. Be specific. Angry, hurt, disrespected, confused. Communicate directly, not emotionally. Speak facts. Speak calmly. Speak clearly. Accept outcomes. Some people will understand, some will not. That is part of the cost. Forgive, but genuinely, not forced forgiveness. Real understanding and release. Preventing future emotion debt. Once you understand how it works, you stop borrowing unnecessarily. You speak early. You set boundaries faster. Address issues when they are small. Stay aligned with your values. You stop choosing comfort over clarity. Final truth. Emotional debt is silent, but it is powerful. It affects your relationships, your decisions, your peace, and your identity. And unlike financial debt, no one else can pay it for you. Not your friends, not your partner, not time. Only you can pay it. Know this: every time you avoid the truth, you take a loan. Every time you face it, you make a payment. The question is simple: are you living freely or are you living on borrowed emotional peace?